is Christina from Redefine Creative, and I am here with an October layout of some pictures of my boys at the pumpkin patch when they were much smaller than they are now. And this is for Wild Whisper Designs, and I am using their new Halloween night collection, which is so super fun. So there are some really great pattern paper in this particular collection that will work really well for documenting not just kids but also grown-ups for Halloween, which does not often happen within a collection where you can use everything for both kids and for grown-ups. And so I have my 3 pictures that I have cut to 4x4, and I am just going to put a thin white cardstock border around them like I often do to help them kind of stand up off the page. And so I have an individual shot of each of my boys, and then I have a shot of them with the pumpkins together. And so very much like blacks and oranges, they're wearing black shirts. So this collection was perfect because it has this pattern paper with the lines in the background in both black and white. And then there's also this really bright orange that I'm going to use that has some like skull and crossbones on it. And so I'm going to make 2 layers that my photos are going to sit on. And so the orange one I cut to 6 inches wide, and then the black one I cut to 5.5 inches wide. And that's going to be perfect for my photos to kind of be based on. And then I went ahead off screen and fussy cut a whole bunch of the like poison bottle labels types of thing from the pattern paper. And I'm going to use those to create a border along the bottom edge of my photos. And so I just fussy cut a whole bunch of different ones. I tried to make sure I had some that were white, some that were orange, some that were black. I kind of varied the sizes and the colors so that they would work as a border across my entire page. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and lay some of them glued flat on the page, and then I'm going to put some dimensional adhesive behind other ones. And this is a great way to take something like 1 sheet of paper and fussy cutting and create a really dimensional, interesting look with just pattern paper. So some of them are popped up, some of them are flat. You'll see that better in the close-ups. And then I'm going to leave that one that has the orange a little bit bigger. So a little more of that showing, because that is where I am thinking I'm going to put my title, because I don't really want to do embellishment clusters anywhere else. I am going to tuck a few pieces into this top left-hand corner of my larger photo mat, and the reason that I'm doing that is because I feel like it really balances the layout out. So in this particular layout, the bottom is very like heavy because I have all of these die cut pieces and they're all in dimensional adhesive and they're varied. There's a lot of weight down there. So adding that little cluster at the top kind of evens out some of that weight. So then what I wanted to do is take a little piece of this light colored burlap and put it behind my photo. And I originally thought that I was going to put it behind my middle photo. And it wasn't sitting right because I know that this middle photo is going to go on some dimensional adhesive to bring that one up off the page, because that's the one that has both of my boys in it. I kind of want that one to be the focal image. So instead I'm going to use 2 little pieces of this burlap, and I'm going to put one on the top edge of the left photo and then one in the bottom edge of the right photo. And that kind of makes sure I travel through all of the pictures. So then when I add my 3rd photo in the middle and I have that one popped up, your eye's going to naturally travel through all of the pictures, which is what I want it to do. So then what I decided was I took an orange marker and I used it to just highlight some of these marks on the background pattern paper. So because it was all black and white, I wanted to add a little bit of a pop of color. So I'm just taking my orange marker and coloring in some of those little lines. And that you'll also see a little better in the close-up images. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm adding some foam tape that is not agreeing with me and wanting to come off of the paper. But this is just going to give it even more of a little dimension. So I felt like that one layer of foam wasn't quite enough, so I added a second one, so that middle photo really does stand up off of the other 2, just because the colors are so similar. Then I'm going to go ahead and take this shiny black lowercase alpha, and I'm going to add my title to that orange block, and it works out perfectly with those letters to kind of fit in the space between where I have the absinthe card popped up and I have the little white skull and crossbones popped up. So my title just kind of fit perfectly in the flat space in between, which was totally not planned. It was a happy accident. You guys ever have happy accidents when you're putting a layout together and you're like, oh, that would have been perfect if I planned it, but I'm so glad that it worked out that way. I am just spending a ridiculous amount of time on this letter E because I had to make my own E because I didn't have any left. So it took me a ridiculous amount of time to get everything lined up so that it would look like a perfect little E. But it is there, and there in the close-ups you'll be able to see some more of that depth and dimension as well as those little marks that I made with my orange marker. And that's going to do it. So I would definitely recommend that you check out the Halloween night collection from Wild Whisper Designs. I will leave a link down below as well as my coupon code so that you can get a little discount. And I'll see you soon. Bye!